if you watched Army last year, they won, of their 5 wins, 4 of them they won at in the fourth quarter. And so we knew that, and we had our chance to win the game. We had the ball on the ground. We didn't get that one. And, you know, they had to, I believe they had to drive that ball 75 yards, and we didn't get them stopped. So it's unfortunate, but we've made some strides, and I think the important thing is to keep the team together, not point fingers, and come out and try to beat a Miami team that showed well today against Florida.
Can you talk about your offensive line and how well they played?
Well, I thought they did well. You know, we thought we'd have a good O-line going in, and they did well. And then I thought the guys running the ball made some plays when it wasn't all blocked up there. So I was proud of the offensive line, so we just need to build on that.
They start the second half by marching down the field, then recover the fumble off the kick.
Yeah.
How big was it, number one, that the defense responded by holding to the field goal, and then that the offense responded by marching it down the field?
That was big, but I think in the beginning of the game, even if you look at it, you know, we had to turn over, and they had the short field and scored there. So we're not yet good enough to turn the ball over. We turned it over 3 times. I think they turned it over 1 time, and so you know, and then we mishandled the snap on the extra point. I think that hurt a little bit in terms of point differential at the end of the game. So it just those things certainly hurt.
You talked about making the strides. Where do you think that this team is making the strides,
Well, I thought
Coach?
we played harder. You know, if you look at us when we got here, you know, I don't know that many guys really cared, and those guys are over there bawling their eyes out. And but I think they know that they're getting better. I think if you watch them today, you can see that they're getting better. I thought special teams did a pretty good job, except for, you know, we dropped the ball 1 time, the freshman kid, Goodwin, and I think they had 1 return on us, but the special teams units did a nice job, and so we're getting better in a lot of phases.
Too soon to start looking ahead to Miami?
No, we're already looking ahead to Miami, and you know, I got a chance to watch them a bunch today, and they looked like they did some good things defensively, so they look like the back. I don't know if he'll be out for the first half of our game, but I know that their second back was disciplined and didn't play today, so we're looking ahead to Miami, and it's a young season, and we're excited. I'm certainly still excited about the season and this team.
The one thing that a lot of us were talking about is the fact that this year, and especially in this game, its first game of the season, the big difference was that this team didn't seem to quit. That was right in there at the end.
Yeah, we know it will be 4 quarters, and I think that if we can keep doing that, you know, that's how you turn programs around. And so our challenge is to get, like I told the players, we're going to come in tomorrow, we're going to watch the game, and we're going to let that game go after we watch it. And because we have no chance against Miami if we don't do that. So we want to do that, learn from it, move on.
Coach, you had you spent a lot of time rushing the ball today. Was that your initial strategy today?
Well, we think we have a good offensive line, and it was a game where, you know, we didn't want to make a lot of mistakes, and we had success running it, and so we continued on that path. But you know, as the game went, we just felt more comfortable running the ball, and I thought there was a time in there where we could have run the ball, and we put it in Alex's hands, and he threw a pick to that free safety. And so we want to run the ball. We want to be a good running team, and I thought we showed that today.
What was it like on the sidelines as far as, I mean, there was no scoreboard, you didn't have it for a while, you had to kind of keep things in order, you had to direct traffic.
You know,
that's like you had to call a couple of timeouts in a row.
Yeah, that's interesting, because I thought, you know, I played for a guy, he preached one at a time and never looked at the scoreboard, and it almost probably was a good thing, because you know, they went up 10 there. But I don't think that is why we kept playing. I just think that we're getting more conditioned and not worry about the score and keep playing. But it was certainly a different, I've never been in a game like that when the scoreboard went out. But you know, I did have to direct some traffic out there, and I had to call some timeouts, and I had to work with the clock without seeing it, and those type of things. So actually, that part was fun.
Was the field lit up well enough?
I thought so. I think the west bank of lights started to come back on at the end of the first half, and so I thought it was enough light out there.
It's not getting that first win. I mean, you just down the road, you won a lot of games.
You know,
I mean, is it eating at you, or is it something that's just?
I was thinking about that coming over here, and I like winning. Yeah, I like winning, and this is humbling. And but I know that we're making progress, and I think what I have to focus on is continuing to get these guys to believe in the staff and each other, and the wins will come. And hopefully, I thought the crowd was great. I thought the marketing department did a terrific job getting people here. I thought the band was awesome. And so there were a lot of good things out there. And what I want is to build a program where people are interested and where they come out. But we just got to get a win to make this thing go. And it does eat at you a little bit. It eats, especially when you've been doing this as long as I have. Not winning is hard. It's brutal. And so, we want to win a game.
You had to feel good that your team down 4 points in the fourth quarter, that the offense went out there and drove the ball downfield and got you the lead for at least a while.
Yeah, we worked hard. We watched Army, like I mentioned before, their fourth quarters, the last 7 or 8 days of preparation, and we knew it would be a fourth quarter game. I think that that clock didn't start when it should have a time in there, and so if we don't get to third, if we don't get to, I think it was 3rd and 9 or 3rd and 10 as we were going in, I was going to slow that thing down. But right there, we needed to score, so I couldn't slow it down because I knew we were, Army. I knew we were struggling a little bit, particularly with our Mike Backer. He just was not showing up, either one of those guys, in terms of the insert runs and the perimeter runs. We weren't getting over the top. So I knew we were having some issues there, and I wanted to slow it down, but the circumstances just didn't allow us to do that.
How far along do you think you are talent-wise in getting this program going?
We're better. I think you can see that. I think, you can see young guys like Donald Scott, number 17. You can see that he can run. I think Goodwin, even though he had the fumble, you can see he's another big guy that can run. And so, that O-line that we redshirted, those guys are going to be good players. But we have to be better at the skill positions, and we have to be better at linebacker. And I'm certainly not speaking ill against our linebackers. I just know that we have to upgrade the talent there, and we do have to upgrade the talent on defense. But I think we're getting closer offensively, particularly with the young wideouts we brought in here and the O-line.
What are your expectations for the passing game this year? I saw you only attempted about 9.
Yeah,
you had the running game going, but where do you hope it is, say near the end of the season?
Well, I think it was a different game. I think, that Army front is hard to protect because you don't know where they're coming from. And I think and we didn't want to put ourselves in bad positions because we had success running it. So that dictated us not throwing it if we didn't have to. But I think we'll be able to throw the ball. We've shown that in practice. So I don't think that's a real big issue. And we'd like to throw it probably a little more next week if the game dictates that.
Coach, talk a little bit about Ladarius Thomas' performance tonight.
You know what? I have to see the tape because that style of football is a little bit different, where it's not as apparent what the safeties are doing. So I would have to see it. I couldn't tell you that.
I was going to ask, how much do you prepare for Army's offense, given that you probably won't see it again this year?
Well, we did for a couple of weeks, and they threw some wrinkles in there. They did some things that they hadn't shown. They trapped and gave it to that fullback. And they did some things they hadn't shown, and they did a nice job. But we had our chances to win that game, and we didn't get them stopped when we needed to at the end, and we didn't take enough time off the clock. But in that situation, the scoring was the important thing.
Coach, talk a little bit about the receivers at the end of the game. Do you think that those two last attempts by Gillette to get the ball into the end zone, do you think there's a problem with the receiver position, or do you just think that they were just picked off?
Oh, I'll have to see that. I think, I thought on the one route, I'm not sure we kept running. I thought there was a guy. I thought on the play before the PI, I think we didn't run. I think it looked like to me that our receiver didn't finish the rep, and so it'll be interesting to see on tape, but we preached that, and I don't know if we got that part done, so we'll see. I'll see it on tape later tonight.
How do you think the kids have taken the fact that, you know, you haven't gotten this first win, and you got to sell to them, you know, hey, we're making progress, hey, you know, all is not lost here?
Well, they played their hearts out, and it's always hard. No, we haven't gotten our first win in 2010, so I think that that's the first thing I told them, you know, that I like the team, I like the effort, I like the players, and we're getting better, and so we'll try to show them that on tape, so they believe that, and that they'll have the will to continue to improve.
You're all set.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Yes, Coach.